The 3-minute one that you go put on YouTube, you put that on Instagram.
For sure.
And tell them to see the full video. Go to woo woo woo.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That nigga eating across the board. He going crazy.
That's what you do starting off. But don't follow. They doing this successful already. They didn't do that in the beginning. But you don't want no audience with a short attention span, no way. Cause you want a podcast. You trying to transfer this over to being on morning radio.
Facts.
Like the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club don't do that.
Nah, that's facts. But I'm different though. Like me, I'm way different than all these internet podcast niggas because I rap too. You got
I know that. You
yeah. I'm one of them rapping niggas.
If I would have known that, I wouldn't have came.
Yeah, stop, Kevin.
Yeah. Boy,
Hey.
if I would have known you was a rapper, you rap too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have came.
Hey,
God damn it.
Listen. Ho. I'm hard as fuck though. I'm not capping. When Rainwater hear me, when all these niggas hear me, bro, like I'm not capping with you, my nigga. I'm one of them ones. So when you see that and you figure that out, you be like, this motherfucker crazy. Like, and I can do this podcast shit, nigga. I'm doing it because, nigga, this what I can do. Nigga, y'all niggas can't do this shit. Nah, we ain't playing that shit right now. We ain't here to. We gonna give us some shit. Hey, man, give us some shit. Hey, play my shit, bro. Play my shit. Nah, fuck that shit. Nah, cause he said when that came. Nah, play my shit. Play my shit. Oh my kids, you about to change your mind. Hey, play my shit, bro. Play my shit. This nigga playing, bro. Play my shit. Nah.
No, man.
Hell no.
All y'all that told me he was a good community.
I'm that.
They
I'm
never
that too.
Rapping. They never told me rapping.
Hey, come on, bro. Hey, listen. I respect you a lot, man.
No, listen. Sit down. Now I got to interview him. Give me 2 minutes interview.
Come on.
Nigga told me a rapper. Now I got to interview him.
Let him rock.
So
yeah, niggas playing. Play my shit, bro.
So listen.
Play the shit I just. Matter of fact, play his video. And play his video I did with YouTube.
Listen. So I know I got that nigga right there as a rapper. He sent me some. So what's your content? What's your?
You gotta hear it. You gonna love it. You gonna love my content.
How do you?
You gonna love my content.
How do you?
Wait. You gonna love my content. Don't worry about how old I am. You gonna try to put me in the box. You gonna love my content, bro. Trust me.
That's a good answer. That nigga said you go, boy. That's a good answer.
Play.
That's a good.
Play,
That nigga
bro.
said you gonna put me in the box. Boy,
You gonna put me in the box. You gonna say,
you gonna put me in
this
the
nigga
box.
this age, so this. Nah, hell no.
Yeah.
Watch this, my nigga. This nigga playing. Y'all niggas, everybody in here know what's up with me though.
Ain't nobody said nothing.
They know, cause nigga, watch this, bro. Everybody playing, bro. They see what, I'm in a different lane right there. This that character you is, nigga. I don't do this shit. This is fucking interviewing, bro. These niggas know what I do.
Give me some. Hurry up, DJ. DJ, drop that shit. DJ, drop that shit.
Bando a rapper, bro. Bando did that song with you?
Yeah.
Me and Bando got one of the hardest hits in the city. You playing,
I gotta
bro.
call Rainwater back, man. That nigga say, man.
Press play.
Oh, man. Say, man, nigga say.
We got one of the hardest fucking songs in Greenville history, bro. Facts. These niggas playing.
Damn song.
Play my shit, bro.
What's the DJ?
Play the one I did with his video. Play that shit, bro. Hey, can you play it up here? These speakers right here? Play. It's on YouTube. Yeah. Play the. Hey, this the Yelp Awards. This the Yelp Awards freestyle right here. See, that's why I say I'm not a fucking internet podcast dude, none of that shit. I'm doing this. But when I get in the game, they gonna be like, man, this thing is crazy. Watch. I promise you.
Oh, man.
Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. Play that shit, man. Yo, play his video. Yelp Awards freestyle, man. This nigga playing with me, bro. Some wheels? Come on, Charleston.
Yeah, nah,
Come on, my man.
You know I'm
I gave you 2,600. You know what's up.
know, but then
Come on, bro.
I gave it back. I would have gave it back. Yeah, no, man.
This nigga crazy as fuck, though. That's why I brought you, though. That what he say?
I told him the same thing.
What he say?
I don't fuck with rappers.
You gonna fuck with this one,
What's up,
man.
North Carolina? This your boy Charles.
This you.
Man, I just want to let y'all know I'm gonna be in town, Greenville, North Carolina, November 20th, to support my man Quasimoto's second annual Europe Awards, man. So y'all make sure y'all come out and support the community, come out and support the brother. Black love is black power. Black love will unify everyone. So man, please make sure you get your tickets. It's gonna be free food, free drink, free games.
Eat me up.
Lots of fun, family friendly, family oriented.
Get this nigga reaction, bro. Get his
I'm
nigga
here,
reaction.
So make sure you
Watch what I tell you.
don't miss it. Cause I
Watch the nigga face.
again, November
And Shorty
20,
outside too. What the fuck she
Greenville,
at?
North Carolina. See you.
Yeah,
Nah,
Tell
they
him to
finna
come
eat
in
me up. Nah,
turn
they
it,
finna
turn
eat
it.
me up on this. They gonna call me hypocrite.
Yeah, but this what I do. I got him out here, nigga. It's the finesse.
Yeah, he done finesse me.
It's the finesse. You talking to the 252. The fuck? This what we do, nigga.
Yeah.
Nigga, dinner thieves, nigga.
Nah.
You know what the fuck going on? This how we get
Dirt.
it. Fuck.
Ready?
Nigga playing.
Alright. I don't know if they hating or they just familiar with Quasi, cause I should've been blue. I just keep my head up and continue to rap about all of the shit that I've been through. I can't really focus on what other niggas got going, cause I still got bills due. So if you complain about your situation, my nigga, no, I do not feel you. So don't come around me with your problems, cause if you had problems like me, you would switch a room. What you know about not having nowhere to stay but inside someone's house for an interview? What you know about not being able to see his son cause his mom
Fuck
got
that
an
beat.
interview?
Fuck that beat. Listen to the lyrics.
What you know about hardships in general? See, I don't like hanging with new niggas cause they like to act like we is equals. I don't know what you heard about Yerk, but Quasi not one of them regular people. I mean, I am, but I ain't at the same time, like how marijuana is illegal.
Watch this.
See, I just got booked for an ounce in NC, but in VA it's legal. But just like that ticket you get in them legal states, baby, I'ma be fine. I got too many people that's depending on me, so I stay on my grind. And I don't know how long I'ma be here, I ain't wasting no time.
Watch this shit, Tom.
And I ain't working for nobody else, nah,
I ain't changing my mind. Bitch, I'm a big boss. I ain't just saying that this shit costs. My advice, if you got a good job, don't motherfucking quit, dog. Every day I'm pissed
I know.
cause I
took a loss trying to risk it all.
Everybody wanna be a boss till them L's come came win them all. You ain't ready, don't get involved. I just jumped in the water not knowing it's on that fucking.
Kinda like when I got my first pack,
Had trouble trying to get it off. Stood tall in the face of adversity, even back in mid. That's a college road, by the way.
East Carolina University, I was rapping with my dog.
No, we didn't never go to college. I just went to college just to spit to y'all.
16 years old, rockin' fucking crowds, nigga, we was killing y'all. Now I'm 29, way more mature than I was in a nigga ball. From the spring, summer, winter, fall. Yeah, nigga. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Not me.
You know what I mean? 2021 has been a great year, man.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Last quarter.
Yeah, I ain't one of them, bro. Pause that. You hear any destruction in that?
Nah.
You heard me rapping about what's going on, right?
Yeah.
That's about to change the world, nigga. No
Yeah,
cap.
Yeah, that's
I'm
some
telling
shit,
you.
That's some shit a nigga can play too. When he going to court trying to figure some shit out in life, nigga. Yeah, he won't crash out to that one. Yeah. That's
Let him
it,
hear that,
nigga.
man. Let him hear that. Let him hear that. Let him hear that. My brain came out. Yeah, I'm on your ass. I'm on your ass now, Charles. You say you wouldn't have came, man. That shit made me feel away.
Nah, homie. Nah. If you would have told me you was a rapper,
Yeah.
nah, nigga.
That's why I can't reach everybody with rapping, right, my nigga.
Yeah.
I gotta reach some niggas with this shit right here. You like to talk. I had to get on your level. Like, what's up? Let's talk. You feel me?
Well,
See that finesse?
well,
Finesse.
you
I fuck with him though, for sure.
You really ain't even a rapper, homie.
Yeah.
I heard what you just said. I went to college just so I can spit at y'all.
Yeah, I ain't go to college.
Yeah, whatever you just said.
Yeah, I said no, we didn't never go to college. We used to have battles in college, like. You know what I'm saying?
Go up to the college.
I used to go to college battle niggas. I go to bowling alley battle. I go wherever. You know what I'm saying?
You heard what you just said. I went to college just so I can spit at y'all.
Yeah.
So you had to sneak. You had to do something, nigga, to
sure.
get on campus to battle with in colleges, right?
Of course.
You ain't in the hood battling.
Nah, for sure. We did that too, though.
Oh, yeah. So for you to package yourself to get me out here, homie, you gotta have something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, nah, nigga, that's when I came home from my murder case,
Yeah.
I was 21, but mentally I was still 14.
All right.
I had a cousin who was going to University of Arkansas. That nigga was the president of the BSA, the Black Student Association. Our cousin and them sold dope, right? So we were tied in. We can get a pound of weed in Texas for $350 and go to Arkansas and sell it for $1,100. This was in 98, 99, right?
Damn.
So he in college. I just came home. So, nigga, we get 10 pounds and get stopped one night. 10 pounds and 2 pistols, so catch a drug trafficking charge. Listening to that 8-Ball Lost, that's how I was able to kind of figure some shit out, homie. Cause nigga would jump bond, nigga would do some fucked up shit and fuck up trying to making the wrong choice.
Sure.
Had I been, cause nigga wasn't going to church. Nigga ain't listening to mama. So you listening to something, and the shit you listening to, it guides you, nigga. It either guides you right or wrong. Ain't no if, and, and buts behind it. That's why when a nigga feeling some kind of way, he got a certain kind of music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
The music set the tone of the mind, nigga. And the mind set the tone of the action. You know what I'm saying? So, nigga, that right there, yeah, nigga, put that on the highway and repeat and let it work through your soul. You know what I'm saying? Rather than putting some deposit in something else. So now, nigga, I'm feeling that shit.
I appreciate you, man, for sure.
And sit back. Time to relax and listen to some commercialism. Maintaining a relationship can be...
For you, but before we jump into it, I just want to say today is my birthday. Toot my own horn. Also, just in case you're not aware, Joe Biden just recently passed a law where because it's my birthday, you have to like comment, especially if you've never left a comment on this video before, and maybe even share today's show. Especially because a number of the stories actually could have huge consequences both nationally and internationally. But yeah, with that said, welcome back to the Philip DeFranco Show, you beautiful bastard, and let's just jump into it. And y'all, the first thing that we have to talk about today is this massive news around Ethan Klein, aka H3 Productions, aka a guy who just seems to be a lightning rod for lawsuits. But even if you don't know who Ethan Klein is, you love him, you hate him, it doesn't even matter because the story is bigger than just one man. This is a story and a lawsuit that's about piracy versus fair use. It's about defamation versus reporting, the legal limitations of what you can report when a lawsuit is not a lawsuit. So just like Ethan Klein's last fair use lawsuit, this could be precedent setting. So with that said, as far as who's on the other end of this lawsuit, you have Ryan Kavanaugh, who, if you don't know, is a film producer and businessman as well as a co-founder, majority holder, and Triller. And yesterday he filed a lawsuit against Ethan, though things actually started with a legal spat we covered in the past. For that being when Triller initially sued Ethan and H3 for airing a portion of its Jake Paul versus Ben Askren fight during one of its podcasts earlier this year. Triller had filed a massive lawsuit against several entities that had accused of pirating the fight at that time, but a court dismissed the majority of the defendants, though it did allow for Triller to refile against outlets individually, leading to a separate suit against H3, and that lawsuit alleged copyright infringement among other claims. At that time, Ethan hit back saying that his inclusion of the fight should fall under fair use, which then leads us to yesterday. Ryan Kavanaugh wrote an essay titled The Dark Side of the Power of Social Media, explaining more about his recent lawsuit versus Ben Askren fight during of its producer and businessman as well as a co-founder, majority holder, and Triller. And yesterday he filed a lawsuit against Ethan, though things actually started with a legal spat we covered in the past. For that being when Triller initially sued Ethan and H3 for airing a portion of its Jake Paul versus Ben Askren fight during one of its podcasts earlier this year. Triller had filed a massive lawsuit against several entities that had accused of pirating the fight at that time, but a court dismissed the majority of the defendants, though it did allow for Triller to refile against outlets individually, leading to a separate suit against H3, and that lawsuit alleged copyright infringement among other claims. At that time, Ethan hit back saying that his inclusion of the fight should fall under fair use, which then leads us to yesterday. Ryan Kavanaugh wrote an essay titled The Dark Side of the Power of Social Media, explaining more about his recent lawsuit and why he's saying that he filed it. There we saw Ryan repeat claims that Ethan pirated and broadcasted that fight to millions of people, resulting in hundreds of millions of dollars in lost sales for Triller while Ethan profited. Also saying that Ethan initially seemed willing to settle, but then, quote, against all common legal practices, rather than negotiating in good faith, he disclosed his views on the suit and the terms of the discussed settlement on his podcast to millions of viewers and further disparaged Triller. Ryan going on to claim that this was a bad faith tactic in violation of litigation laws. And all of that is kind of an explanation of the first part of the story, but then it moves from a piracy issue to a defamation issue. Because from there, Ryan claimed that Ethan has posted video after video attacking and slandering me personally, despite the fact that while I am a shareholder and co-founder, I am not Triller. Right, among other things, accusing Ethan of trying to use his video titles to optimize search results so that his videos show up when someone searches the name Ryan Kavanaugh. Ryan adding that Ethan's followers have amplified the attack. Ryan also specifically alleging that despite the fact that he has never met Ethan has posted more than 8 podcasts disparaging him, with those podcasts including false and harmful information. Ryan also pointing to a website Ethan made that compares him to Harvey Weinstein, and then claimed that Ethan sent paid traffic to push disparaging articles to the top of Google search results about him, saying that he's encouraged H3 fans to attack him online and threaten his family. Ryan additionally brought up a Variety article that Ethan has referenced in the past with a headline that says Ryan was accused of running a Ponzi scheme. But Ryan arguing that Ethan is bringing up this article in bad faith because an update in the story notes that the situation is resolved and the complaint was never intentionally filed. Ryan also accused Ethan of making other defamatory remarks that claims that Ryan has not properly paid his employees or nannies, and that he's gotten 2 DUIs, which Ryan says is false. With Kavanaugh also alleging that Ethan paid Wikipedia editors to, quote, destroy his page with connected editions, started a Reddit thread for people to plan attacks against him and wrote about their successes, and caused his followers and paid bots to give the Triller app a bad online rating. Ryan saying all of this amounts to textbook malicious behavior intended to harm me and Triller. This leaves me with no choice but to sue. One malignant internet personality with a large following, the equivalent of an angry child with a loaded gun, can cause disproportionate harm to anyone using lies, slander, and SEO, and suffer few if any consequences. Now, I understand that is a lot. It's kind of this shotgun blast of accusations, and we could only hit on so many things, and more could even be on the way. But I will link to the full article down below so you can see every detail as he explained it. But of course, in a situation where we're talking about a lawsuit, right, I just explained the accusations from one side. What does the other side think? So with that, I reached out to Ethan Klein for a comment or response regarding the accusations or any of this in general, and he gave me a lengthy response. With Ethan starting off by saying, Ryan Kavanaugh's first malicious lie is that he claims I pirated his event. Fair use is at the heart of this lawsuit, same as with our first lawsuit. We used a short clip of the event during extremely critical commentary during a 3-hour podcast. Ryan Kavanaugh tries to blame me for his event being widely pirated, which is pure defamation. He didn't even react to the event until days after it was streamed on pay-per-view. If he cared about pirates, why did he drop all of his other lawsuits against actual pirates but only kept the one against me? Ethan going on to accuse Ryan of targeted legal harassment, asking why his wife's Teddy Fresh brand is listed in the suit when he says it has nothing to do with the case at hand. Ethan also denying that he told his fans to harass Ryan online, claiming that he's actually done the opposite on multiple occasions. Then he brought up a series of articles that addressed some of the specific accusations Ryan made, including the Variety situation we mentioned, but Ethan claiming that he made it clear that the accusation was retracted, adding that if Ryan, quote, has a problem with the article, take it up with Variety, one of the most trusted news sources in entertainment, not me. Ethan then addressing Ryan's claims that he was spreading false information regarding DUIs and fake employees, with Ethan arguing that he was just referencing information made available in articles by well-regarded news sources, pointing to 3 New York Times articles from 2008 that say that Ryan was charged with drunk driving in 2006 and was arrested for the same thing again in 2008, also sharing a Vanity Fair article that brings up the same arrests. Regarding the accusation about Ryan not paying his nanny, Ethan pointed to an article from Fox San Diego that says that Ryan's former nanny sued him for $175,000 in lost wages after she was abruptly fired in 2020. That reportedly just 2 months into a contract that was meant to last over a year, with Ethan writing, again, I am not stating any of these claims, but merely reading what has already been published by well-respected news sources. How is that defamation? Regarding the accusations that Ethan sent bots to give Triller negative reviews, Ethan said that Ryan is solely blaming him. Other big influencers have been critical of the app as well, including Noah Beck, a Triller advisor and shareholder who made a TikTok complaining about how Triller's camera is flipped, with Ethan claiming that he's only told his fans to give honest and genuine reviews. Ethan also going on to share a Hollywood Reporter article where an investor reportedly told a judge, in a town full of scam artists, posers, false prophets, and flim-flam men, Ryan C. Kavanaugh is in a Hollywood class by himself. Ethan also linking to articles from Variety and Deadline that say a judge found Ryan had fabricated a memo which included false sexual harassment claims against an executive at his previous production company. Ethan closing his statement to us by saying, Ryan Kavanaugh is a business elite who is used to suing, harassing, and breaking the law with no consequences. He wields the legal system like a malignant tyrant, uses it to silence his critics, and now to stifle fair use, something we all on YouTube care about. With Ethan also addressing the entire situation with Ryan on Twitter, writing, Ryan Kavanaugh is trying to get my channel banned from YouTube. A powerful media person who has gone to every length to destroy me for criticizing him. Everyone needs to pay attention now. Not only is fair use on the line, but the powerful trying to shut down channels for criticism. With him then pointing to a Wikipedia user who he thinks might be Ryan, saying that the user admitted to sending legal notices to YouTube, which he didn't need to read. In that same Twitter thread, Ethan shared what he called a threatening Christian DM that Ryan allegedly sent him, which shows Ryan laying out some of the accusations we just mentioned and wanted Ethan to stop. So you have all of that, but then there's also an aspect of the story that I feel like is getting overlooked because obviously there's a lot of big accusations being thrown around, a lot of drama. It was hit on really well by Eric Gardner in the Hollywood Reporter, who explained the defamation case from the controversial entertainment veteran figures to explore a secret about the court system that hardly anyone knows about. Remember that Variety article that both Ethan and Ryan have mentioned? So as Gardner in the Hollywood Reporter explained, about a decade ago, an entity called Courthouse News Service began suing local court officials around the nation for not providing immediate or near immediate online access to court filings. And adding, this service experienced some success, making the argument that the First and 14th Amendment required nothing short of transparency. And as a result, the Los Angeles Superior Court system opened a media portal for reporters. With Gardner going on to explain this is where it gets problematic, noting it takes a bit of time for court filings to be processed. Lawsuits are indexed and assigned, and for the few hours it takes for this to happen, reporters get access to what the LA Superior Court calls, quote, unfiled complaints, with the court even stamping the words unfiled on every pages of these filings. With Gardner then going on to ask and answer the question, what would happen if a lawyer submitted a complaint into the system and then came to a quick settlement before the complaint got indexed, explaining that's what happened 2 years ago, explaining that in 2017, Kavanaugh launched his company, Proxima Media, and along with an individual named Elon Spar, he pursued a new entertainment stock exchange. But saying this then led to Kavanaugh and Spar pointing fingers at each other over funding and secrets. But then reporting within hours of submitting the complaints, Kavanaugh's rep was calling media outlets and insisting that no lawsuit had actually been filed and that news stories on the matter were defamatory, with Gardner noting, I know because I was the recipient of one of those phone calls. And reporting that Kavanaugh even put out a statement at that time accusing Variety and the Hollywood Reporter of having, quote, attempted to smear him by quoting from Spar's seeming legal filings, but then adding that Kavanaugh never did sue the Hollywood Reporter nor Variety over the stories about his tussle with Spar, saying whether he was satisfied by the clarifications appended to the articles or cowed by the admonishment that fair reporting privilege would cover these stories, he backed off. And potentially related to that situation, or now Ethan, Gardner writing that when it comes to defamation law, most states, including California, have a defense known as fair reporting privilege, which basically means that anyone is free to talk about judicial and other governmental proceedings without fearing liability for repeating allegations made there. The only caveat is that the report has to be both a fair and true account of the public proceeding, and noting the media relies mightily on this privilege. And they're noting the example of how BuzzFeed beat defamation suits over its publication of the infamous Trump dossier. So yeah, like I said at the beginning of this story, a lot of stuff at play here, and depending on how things go, potentially massive consequences. But for now, we're gonna have to wait to see what happens, though. I mean, this is a developing story. Even right before I uploaded today's show, I saw Ethan Klein go going live addressing this matter, so we may see even more information, more updates. But while we wait to see what happens from here, I do want to pass the question off to you. What are your thoughts regarding any and all aspects of this story? Because wow, wow, wow. But from that, let's take a second to pay the bills and thank the fantastic sponsor of today's show, Squarespace. I know over the past year or so, a lot of you have found your passion projects and it truly makes you happy, whether that means finally getting your independent business off the ground or creating a place to share your homemade goods, new favorite hobby, current obsession, or maybe even a personal blog to get all those thoughts out of your head. No matter what you're doing, Squarespace is there to help. It's so easy. There's nothing to install, patch, or upgrade ever, and creating a beautiful website with Squarespace's all-in-one platform has never been so simple. It's extremely intuitive and easy to use. Plus, with Squarespace, you get access to all their marketing tools and analytics and personalized support from their award-winning customer care team via email or live chat. Whatever you need, they are available 24/7 to help out. So if you want to check it out and see why so many others have loved it, see if it's perfect for you, go ahead and start your free trial today over at squarespace.com/Phil. And when you realize you love it, make sure you enter an offer code Phil to get 10% off your first purchase. And then, if you haven't noticed, you're starting to get more DMs as of today, more people sliding in. Unfortunately, it's not because you're oozing of charisma. It's not your sparkling personality. It's a shitty reason. New federal rule just went into effect yesterday that now allows debt collectors to message you via email, text, and even through DMs on social media. Now, with this new rule, there are also several rules that debt collectors will still have to follow. For one, if they reach out to you on social media, it does have to be a private message. It can't be a public comment section or anything viewable to anyone but you. Two, if they reach out by trying to friend you or add you as a contact, they have to be clear up front that they are pursuing a debt. And three, they have to give you a way to opt out of receiving further communication from them on the social media platform that they reach out on. But still, with this, you had collection agencies unsurprisingly praising the new rules, which were greenlit by a Trump-appointed former director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, who said that they intended to, quote, modernize the legal regime for debt collection. However, outside of the soul-sucking debt collector community, a lot of people aren't happy with this, with For example, a writer for the Washington Post pointing out that people are concerned that, quote, if left unchecked, this expanded access to consumers could very well contribute to new ways to harass struggling consumers. And adding, I've followed this issue for years, and while many companies operate within the law, illegal operations can do a lot of damage to innocent consumers. Debt collection isn't wicked, but it can lead to embarrassing, unethical, and illegal tactics. And they're noting, for example, that some companies try to collect debts even after they're no longer available, because for these companies, they're like, why not shake the tree to see what drops? And for me, personally, this is a story, an issue. It's hard for me not to be biased on. I get very emotional with this topic. I live a very privileged and fortunate life right now, but when I was a young kid, I got in a lot of debt and I had to deal with debt collectors. And like I know probably a lot of those people are just regular people that have a job, but then there are others that just take it to a weird, inhumane, cruel level. But yeah, on that happy note, I'll pass the question off to you. What are your thoughts regarding these new rules? And then let's talk about Omicron. Just as it felt like things were getting back to normal. The new COVID variant has been found on nearly every continent, with the vast majority of those cases being being in South Africa and other countries in the region. That leading to many regions closing travel to try and keep Omicron out. With some of the strictest measures actually coming from Japan and Israel, both of which have closed their borders to essentially all foreigners, regardless of where they came from. And on top of that, at least in Israel, Israelis need to quarantine when returning home, regardless of whether or not they were vaccinated, to help try and contain any potential Omicron outbreaks. But most of the measures issued by places like the United States, many European countries, South Korea, and China have centered around severely restricting or completely suspending flights from southern African countries. However, there is mounting evidence that the region, and especially South Africa itself, is getting a bad rap and that the cat was already out of the bag. It's increasingly looking like the virus was already in continents like Europe before its discovery was even made on November 24th. For example, Dutch officials have now said that they found Omicron in samples that were taken on November 19th and November 23rd, far earlier than it was believed to have ever first entered Europe, and even before Omicron was officially identified. On top of that, WHO officials are still trying to determine if Omicron is actually from Southern Africa at all. So right now, it is possible that that region is being unfairly targeted with travel restrictions just for being the place that it was discovered and had the most time to test for patients for it and was transparent about it, which is also something that the head of the WHO hit on recently, saying, "I will understand the concern of all countries to protect their citizens against a variant that we don't yet fully understand. But I am equally concerned that several member states are introducing blunt blanket measures that are not evidence-based or effective on their own and which will only worsen inequities." But either way, Omicron has been traveling fast around the globe, and in fact, just today, here in the US, the first Omicron case confirmed, and not to brag, in California, #1 in the country, another gold medal. And likely adding to people's concerns here, that patient who returned from South Africa last week had been fully vaccinated, though also on that note, they were only showing mild symptoms, which many experts have pointed out that while the vaccines that we have right now, their efficacy may be lower against Omicron, there's still the belief that this could protect you from severe symptoms and hospitalization. That being said, to reiterate, there are so many unknowns with this virus. We've talked about preliminary data, people wondering, is this more contagious? Can the current vaccines handle it, whether it's more or less deadly? But also, all of that doesn't mean that people shouldn't be cautious. People also shouldn't forget about the Delta variant, which still accounts for most of the cases raging around the world. And unfortunately, as I think more and more people have been coming to realize, this may just be the new world that we live in. I don't think that it's cynical. I think it's more of a realistic view to say that there's not going to ever be enough vaccinated people for this to not just keep mutating. And really, if anything, a lot of this I feel like really bolsters the idea that dealing with COVID may end up like dealing with the flu. Yes, a more deadly flu, but where every year we might have to get vaccinated to deal with the most prevalent strain. And then in huge national news with massive implications, we need to talk about the fact that the Supreme Court has now officially begun hearing oral arguments in the biggest abortion case in decades as part of a challenge that could overturn Roe v. Wade and reverse legal precedents for reproductive rights that have been in place for nearly half a century. Right, and as we've talked about before, this case is based on a 2018 law out of Mississippi that banned most abortions after 15 weeks, with exceptions for, quote, severe fetal abnormality, but not rape and incest. And so with that, Mississippi's only abortion clinic sued, arguing that the law was unconstitutional. Then both a district judge and a panel of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit ruled against the law, and the state appealed to the Supreme Court. And notably, when Mississippi asked the justices to take up its case in June of 2020, the state's Attorney General Lynn Fitch explicitly stated that the petition's questions, quote, do not require the court to overturn Roe or Planned Parenthood versus Casey, which is the 1992 case where the Supreme Court ruled and reaffirmed that states could not ban abortion before the fetus can live outside the womb, which is generally around 24 to 28 weeks. But all of that was before the court's conservatives solidified their supermajority with the appointment of Justice Amy Coney Barrett, who personally opposes abortion following the death of liberal Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And so after the justices agreed to take up this case, Fitch filed a brief asking the High Court to overturn Roe and Casey. And so to be clear, as a result, if SCOTUS rules in favor of Mississippi, it doesn't just impact the state, this affects abortion rights nationwide. Right, Mississippi is one of the many Republican-held states that have passed abortion restrictions that lower courts have struck down because they violate Supreme Court decisions on fetal viability. And as a result, almost all of those laws are not in effect, with the exception of Texas, of course, because SCOTUS refused to block it while legal challenges play out. So if the justices uphold the Mississippi law, depending on the scope of their ruling, there are two possible overarching outcomes. First, the court could decide to uphold the 15-week ban, but not agree with Fitch's motion asking them to overturn Roe. So while that would undo the precedent for fetal viability set under Casey and allow states to ban abortions earlier, it would leave the 1973 ruling intact. But if the justices do decide to get rid of Roe, the impact would be way more extreme. Not only would it create a path for more states to pass laws that limit abortions, but it would also allow abortion bans to take effect incredibly quickly. With 22 states currently having laws in place that could be used to restrict abortion if Roe was struck down, that including 12 states that have what are known as trigger laws that would literally ban all or most abortions immediately if the precedent was overturned. But we're not going to know what's going to happen for a little while now. The court is hearing the arguments today, yes, but they aren't expected to rule on the matter until spring or early summer. Though, as I was recording today, we started seeing reports that the conservative justices signaled today that they are leaning towards upholding Mississippi's ban. But notably here, the justices did not indicate whether they would agree to overrule Roe entirely. So with all of that said, yes, this does impact women's rights in general, but also sets up a major matter matter for the 2022 midterms, especially if the conservative justices rule in favor of Mississippi. While you would obviously know what's going to happen in very blue and very red states, this could be an all-out war in purple states, especially because public polls have shown support for the president remaining strong over the years. And ultimately, that is where this story and today's show ends. Of course, with that, would it be this final story, the first one, anything in between? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. And of course, as always, my name's Philip.
Oh, your timing couldn't be better. Just got my ass in the hot tub.
Without me?
You don't need no invite, baby. You got an all-year pass. I got your glass right here, baby. Soon as we done with these bank plates, why don't you just pull up, baby?
Maybe.
All right, girl, I got the hint. We talk business first. Now hit me with that plan again. This Korean boy we working for is hype. Been texting my ass all day. I don't understand shit.
Alright, we got a tracker on the truck with the plates. We got the virus from our little hacker buddy to disable the security system. All we gotta do is stop this motherfucker. Get the printing plates and get away with our asses intact.
Baby, you make this shit digestible as a motherfucker. And this Korean boy gonna pay. Hold up. Let me set this tub on energize mode. Oh, yeah, baby. Now I'm ready. Let's do this.
Hey, babe. This Korean dude.
Mm-hmm.
Which Korean?
How the hell I know? I thought you weren't supposed to ask that shit.
I don't know. I figured maybe it came up.
Nah. Ain't nothing come up with these fools but the last party he at. Never ceases amazing to me the shady-ass motherfuckers you meet in the fucking green room at a nightclub. This dude start talking about super dollars and shit, how they the perfect counterfeits, and my ears prick up. Next thing I know, he's asking me if I knew someone who could rob the printing plates off a military convoy.
Ha! For real?
Yeah, I said I might know a girl who can set something up. You know, boom, and we out here. Yo, is that it? That was pretty fast, y'all. Hey, yo, we need all them plates. Full set, or it's worth nothing.
Ain't nothing we need but them plates, y'all. Soon as we got them, we hit the road. Hey, Kay, check the TV.
What channel?
Any of them.
Alright. Oh, that's us, y'all. Shit. Y'all look bad as fuck. They got like news drones on y'all or something?
Uh-huh. We famous. You see what's coming?
Oh, y'all better move. That's like a whole ass army on the freeway.
He ain't lying. Pick this shit up.
Hey, don't be bringing no special ops motherfuckers to the drop-off. Lose that shit.
Hey, Kay, I've been thinking. This Korean dude, he gonna pay us in real dollars or super dollars?
that shit just be making trippin' me. I just be jamming that loud, blowing that loud. Even if it's Reggie, I get the clouds. Feeling super green, super mean with the cool 10, call it SG. Shaking that rump, got me up in the mind, thinking about another fuck off the road.
listen to this track.
If I were to get 2 hits in, the second shot scales to 12. That is less than half of the amount of damage. So if you're looking to get the most bang for your buck, as it were, right, you're better off just going for singletons, as the poke damage is much more significant. Say we get, I don't know, 3 or 4 pokes in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at Soul's health. That's, like, obviously not a lot, but that's not insignificant for a full screen, potentially frame 1 poke, right? A poke that can't be avoided. Either he was already blocking or he gets hit, or if he's moving, maybe the reticle misses or whatever. But still, the damage as a poke that you can do anywhere, like you can be super jumping at the top of the screen, it'll still hit immediately, right? You can be running, it'll hit immediately. You can be backdashing, it'll hit immediately, right? The fact that it happens anywhere and hits instantly makes it decent as a poke, but just don't go crazy, because your resources are limited, your concentration bar and your bullets are valuable, and when you go a bit more crazy, you're more prone to missing for 1, and the damage gained is not that much. Now, another important thing about the gun is gun canceling. This is both for the regular gun and the steady aim shot as well. So say we're doing a combo, and combos for the most part are sort of easy, at least at the start. Later on they can get a little more tricky, but like close slash, forward kick, which is a natural combo in and of itself, and then we'll do quarter circle forward slash, which is getting the gun ready in the gun stance, right? If you do the normal gun ready, there's no hit associated with it. But if you do quarter circle forward slash, that gun raise is a launcher. So say I want to get that twice in 1 combo. First part's easy enough, but I have my gun up, so I can't do that normally. So what I have to do is cancel my gun in the middle right after the launcher, and then redraw my gun. And that's very doable, and then you can get a second launch, rejuggle. I haven't burned any bullets yet, right? So I can keep my combos going. And there you have it. Now we got all of a sudden a bit of a combo. We got 2 launchers out. Now, another important thing about the gun is gun canceling. This is both for the regular gun and the steady aim shot as well. So say we're doing a combo. And combos, for the most part, are sort of easy, at least at the start. Later on, they can get a little more tricky, but like close slash, forward kick, which is a natural combo in and of itself, and then we'll do quarter circle forward slash, which is getting the gun ready in the gun stance, right? If you do the normal gun ready, there's no hit associated with it, but if you do quarter circle forward slash, that gun raise is a launcher. So say I want to get that twice in 1 combo. First part's easy enough, but I have my gun up, so I can't do that normally. So what I have to do is cancel my gun in the middle right after the launcher, and then redraw my gun. And that's very doable, and then you can get a second launch, rejuggle. I haven't burned any bullets yet, right? So I can keep my combos going. And there you have it. Now we got all of a sudden a bit of a combo. We got 2 launchers out of it. Didn't have First part's easy enough, but I have my gun up. So go forward slash, that gun raises a launcher. So say I want to get that twice in one combo. First part's easy enough, but I have my gun up, so I can't do that normally. So what I have to do is cancel my gun in the middle right after the launcher and then redraw my gun. And that's very very doable. And then you can get a second launch, rejuggle. I haven't burned any bullets yet, right? So I can keep my combos going. And there you have it. Now we got all of a sudden a bit of a combo. We got 2 launchers out of it. Didn't have to burn the bullets. We did burn some bullets, yes. And that's very doable. You know, I have my gun up, so I can't do that normally. So what I have to do is cancel my gun in the middle right after the launcher and then redraw my gun. And that's very doable. And then you can get a second launch, rejuggle. I haven't burned any bullets yet, right? So I can keep my combos going. And there you have it. Now we got all of a sudden a bit of a combo. We got 2 launchers out of it. Didn't have to burn the bullets. We did burn some bullets, yes. But we got the whole thing, corner carry, wall splat, and we managed to get the super at the end. That kind of stuff is possible knowing exactly how much you have to work with the cancels. Because otherwise, that combo wouldn't have worked if I didn't get 2 of these guys in one combo, which was only possible thanks to the cancel. Now, there's more than that too, so we have steady aim. It was only possible thanks to the cancel. Now, there's more than that too, so we have steady aim, right? That has cancels as well. Although not the same cancel. If you hit down heavy slash, you're just going to shoot the bullet. So that's not going to work quite the same way. But what you can cancel it with is stuff like a roll. You can cancel it with a clone. You can cancel it with your concentration builder. You can cancel it with the fart ball toss. Pretty much any special move you can cancel with it. And that also can help lead the combos. So we're going to use a similar-ish style combo from before. So same starter here. Close slash, forward kick into gun uppercut to launch. So what we're going to do different here is after that launcher, we're going to do forward kick into the steady aim stance. And then we're going to shoot him. All right, we did that. Is that the end of the combo? We could just shoot him some more, like that'll work, but we can get a little more fancy with it. Wouldn't you know it? So